Yes, we've got some really interesting stuff happening here in SA. Once again, we're at the forefront of medical breakthroughs and trialing new stuff that can be really beneficial for us.
Fantastic. What's the breakthrough?
So right now, Adelaide, South Australia, we are participating in doing a different kind of, breast cancer analysis.
Right.
To make it a lot easier, especially for women that might have high density breast tissue, so it's harder to see the cancer. So what the new procedure involves is called contrast enhanced mammography, and it pretty much injects a dye into the patient's arm and allows the cancerous cells to show up more visibly.
Oh, wow.
So it's just really beneficial for those ladies out there that have high density in their tissue, so you can see the cells a hell of a lot better. So it'll be about $250 out of pocket for that one, but obviously very worth it.
That sounds amazing, and a good reminder to make sure you go get tested because it is an ongoing issue.
Definitely. And over in SA too, this is really interesting. So privately owned e-scooters could be legal on South Australian roads.
Right.
So it's a new law being passed to say that the privately owned ones can go on the bike paths or on the roads with the cars and everything like that.
Yeah. Now, I didn't realise that privately owned ones you couldn't ride on the road and on bike paths and stuff.
Yeah, so at the moment you can't, but the law will allow that, and there'll obviously be safety implications, like you have to wear a helmet, things like that, and you'll be capped off at 25 k's an hour. So there's all different rules attached to it, but that will be the thing that you can be on the roads. Same with e-skateboards as well, which is interesting.
Right.
Interesting to put them on the roads as well.
Yeah, because, you do see them going around. I just did not realise that it wasn't allowed. So that's good news for anyone out there that is, saving money or not catching the bus and using an electric scooter or skateboard.
Oh, it's so much cheaper to get around on one of them, for sure.
Yeah.
And as well, with another law we're looking at here in South Australia, it's to ban cigarettes and other tobacco products to those born after January 1st, 2009. So doing one of those age caps that other countries like New Zealand and I believe England have tried.
Yeah. Okay, so that's to try and weed out the selling of tobacco products in the future.
Yeah, by the time they're that age. So, and if anyone's caught supplying to people of that age with this new law, it'll be a $40,000 fine.
Wow.
So, hefty one there.
Yeah, good news. Try and get it out of the system because it's obviously so bad for everyone.
Hey, some great SA news on all fronts. We're doing really well, guys.
Absolutely. That's your news from overnight. One of the pet hates of driving, Callum, is trying to find a park on a busy day.
Yes.
It's just one of the worst tortures you can go through as a person is when you're driving up and down a car park, nothing's showing up, or you're trying to get a park on the street, there's nothing there because you're in peak hour.
And we've talked about it on the show before, so many spots in Adelaide that are culprits, your shopping centres, heaps of different specific car parks. We are pretty bad here in SA for it sometimes.
Yeah, and just yesterday I was driving around and decided, you know what, I'm just going to park in a car park. It's just going to be the easiest thing to do. Get into the car park. Turns out it was not the easiest thing to do. Up level 1, no parks. To level 2, no parks. To level 3. I got all the way up to level 5 before a park revealed itself.
It sucks when you have to go to the high rise as well.
Oh, yeah, because then I have to walk down all these stairs.
Heaps of stairs. It's like a medieval tower trying to get down to base level. It's so big.
Yeah, I need Rapunzel there to be able to rappel me down.
Just jump down her hair.
So finally, a park starts to reveal itself and it's tucked away in a corner. I'm like, you beauty. Finally, found a park. And as I'm creeping up towards it, it's obstructed. There's a tent in the car park.
A tent?
A tent.
A tent.
Now,
right.
This got the blood boiling a little bit because then I had to go up another level. Turns out there was no free car parks in this whole car park. So I've gone up for no reason. Had to pay the smallest fee of like $5 just to go in and realise there's no parks.
I'm glad you didn't have to, do a Goldilocks and, you see the first level, it's got a tent. You have to try out the next level, it's got a log cabin.
Yeah.
It's just got a different place you can sleep,
Finally found one that's just right.
Yeah, an empty car park.
But I do want to open up the text line. What took up the car park spot, Adelaide? What obstructed you from parking? I was talking to someone here at work, and she was saying that constantly when she's going to the shops, there's trolleys all in the car park, like left in people's car parks.
Oh, I feel like trolleys is a huge one. And the amount of times you see people just leave them there, and it's like, you could walk an extra 10 metres to chuck them away.
Yeah, so this annoys her so much. And she's got a pretty beat up car that she doesn't care about. if she sees a trolley and there's no other cars around, she'll just ram it out the way.
Wow, I hope she doesn't have the same mindset with the tent if that were to ever be obstructing her park.
I hope it's not the same mindset of anything, really. Don't ram things in your car.
Use brute force with your car if you want to fix your issues.
No, but other things I've been thinking about, like if you go to an event, like a big sporting event or something, and people set up marquees in the car park spot and doing their barbecue there, like, come on, just go 5 meters left to the grass.
The least you can do is give a free sausage if you're going to take up the car park with a barbecue marquee. There's so many different things. What about the classic a motorbike? A motorbike taking up a park.
Now, this is a funny one because really you shouldn't have any qualms with a motorbike in a car park spot, but it does annoy you a little bit when you think you could just park in the motorbike spot where I can't.
You could.
And you've taken up a whole car park from me.
There's an angle there.
What pisses me off even more than the motorbike, though, is a car that decides they're going to take up 2 spots.
Yeah. Are you talking like a massive car or a car doing like a diagonal or just a shoddy park that kind of covers a little bit of both? But
Either one. Annoys
frustrating.
Me. Yeah. Get a smaller car or park vertically.
Or get a motorbike and go
Or get a motorbike.
Go in your motorbike park.
Somebody's texted in here saying a tiny car that you can't see every time I say, screw you, Stuart Little. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point because a lot of car parks now have a spot for tiny cars.
Well, like the cube cube cars or whatever.
They have little tiny car spots. It's like a tiny car or motorbike spot. I should probably park in them. I don't.
Yeah.
It's a little tight for me.
This one here, when some idiot puts the bins in a car park spot, I feel like ramming them and letting the rubbish go everywhere. That would be the destructive end you would expect from ramming a bunch of bins.
That is what they call letting the intrusive thoughts win. Don't
let them do that.
Don't do that.
Don't go running bins over.
Just move the bins. Another text here. A jumping castle in some parklands for an event, hung over onto the road, took up like 3 parks, should have popped it. Well, thank God, again, don't pop the jumping castle.
Out of all the texts we got for this one, I wouldn't have expected a jumping castle, to cover up the car parks.
No.
But yeah, that's a good one. This one here, worse is when some little punk is standing in the spot trying to save it for their mate. Sorry, but it should be first in, best dressed.
Yeah, completely agree with that one.
100%.
Yeah, I cannot stand because you can't just like dibsy a car park, right? And a lot of the time their friends aren't even close when they're taking up that spot.
Yeah. And once again, you might get a psycho who wants to ram the bins come your way. So get out of that car park
Don't
spot.
be the bin.
Don't be that guy standing there.
Another text in here. I'm not even joking, but I've seen someone leave their bike in a car park like a bicycle. It wasn't even locked up, and you want to take up a spot.
That's just unbelievable. You're just asking for someone to steal it, aren't you?
Yeah. Or like do something nasty to it.
You're going to piss someone off for sure.
And finally, this text here. One of my biggest pet peeves is when you think you finally have a park, you go to turn into it, but there's a little Mr. Bean car hiding in there. Another person hating on the tiny cars. Some of us can't help it. Going to have to talk about the housing crisis. We all know how difficult it is finding a home at the moment. I mean, the housing crisis, it is a nationwide issue. And that's why this morning, Callum, I want to take us to home away from home.
Sure.
We're going to the Gold Coast.
Ooh, Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And the Gold Coast is where I would live as my second home, honestly. If I were to go live anywhere right now, it would be the Gold Coast. I've always said that.
God, I hope it never happens to you. Cause
come back Gold Coastified.
No, you won't come back.
Spray tan, white linen shirt.
No, there's over in the Gold Coast, a young entrepreneur is beating the housing crisis and not spending too much money either. So her name is Emily Webb, and she's currently between living situations, and she's even like gone as far to say she's been offering some flats, a year's worth of rent in advance.
Right, okay.
Just to get it across the line because it's so hard to get a house over there.
Struggle town.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's still struggling to find a flat over in the Goldie. So she's been couch surfing a bit with mates while she's on the hunt for a flat, but she doesn't want to become a burden to her friends either. So she'll stay there a couple of days, maybe spend a night in her car if she has to, if she goes absolutely desperate. But then she's turned to an alternate way of having a roof over her head each night. And, I mean, the answer's so simple. It's been right in front of us all this time.
Yep.
She's using Hinge.
She's using Hinge while a dating app to get around and what? Stay at blokes' houses.
Yeah. So if you don't know what Hinge is, it's a dating app very similar to Tinder, but she is on that every day, matching with new men and staying at their house for up to a few days at a time.
Right, because I guess you could, if you did hit it off with someone off Hinge and you're getting along, go out to a restaurant.
I think she's hitting it off with everyone she can just to get a roof over her head.
Yeah, I mean, if the person that you match with isn't insufferable or dangerous, then you probably could ride it out and do a few days solid with them.
Yeah. Now, look, you might be thinking that, maybe this is her taking advantage of these men a little bit, using her looks and charm to stay at their house for, like I said, sometimes up to a few days. But I think you got to admire the hustle of this young entrepreneur, Emily Webb, in the Gold Coast, who is using this dating app to not only get a roof over her head, but stay there for free during this difficult time.
Yeah, probably a few free meals and everything too. I just can't wait to see all the real estate agents hopping on Hinge and they start working for everyone else, trying to hook you up with someone you can date and stay in their house.
Yeah.
Adelaide, let's wind back the clock. The new quiz with a bit of a spin. It's Wheelie Windback Wednesday with Tom and Callum on Fresh 92.7.
That's it, Callum. It's everyone's favourite quiz show. It's Wheelie Windback Wednesday. It's everyone's favourite because not only can you play along in the car, but if you do call up and want to play along with us on air, $50 is up for grabs each week.
Yes, how easy. $50 just for answering 3 questions pretty much.
That's it. Only 3.
And the 3, if we have multiple callers, multiple the Fresh fam wanting to play this, if you get a question wrong, it'll move on to the next person. But if you pretty much finish off the round, if you're the last person to finish that last question, you will get that $50.
Yeah, so let's find out this morning. Our first contestant, we're going to Holden Hill. It's Jess. Good morning, Jess. How are you?
Good morning, boys. I'm good. How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah, very well. Now, Jess, how well do you know your decades? Do you think you're in for a chance here?
I want to be fairly confident within myself, but it could go any which way depending on what decade shows up.
Well, Jess, you're the first caller, so hopefully you can knock off all 3 questions and get that $50.
Jess, what decade are you looking for?
Let's hope so. Well, I mean, I would say I'm fairly confident in the decades that I was born in. So I'm born in 2000, so anything thereafter.
All right. Anything for 2000 after. Well, best of luck. We don't have our wheel spinner this morning, so I'll be doing the honours. I'll give it my best gusto I can.
All right.
Here we go.
Spin that wheel.
All right, it's a fair spin. 1990s, Jess. So, out of all the decades, it's the one you didn't want.
Not too far off, though, I guess. You could have been born a year earlier.
Exactly. I was just 1 year shy of 1999. So.
Alrighty, Jess, let's start with a movie question. Which movie was the first collaboration between Tim Burton and Johnny Depp?
That would be Edward Scissorhands, I believe.
It is Edward Scissorhands.
Absolutely. Crushed it on the first question. Second question. Mulder, Scully, and Skinner are all characters from what 90s hit TV show?
Before you said TV show, I was going to say Monsters, Inc. Now I'm a bit lost. I'm going to have to pass on that one. I don't even
pass.
know.
You're passing it off. You don't want to have a guess, Jess.
All right. Well, we're taking the pass. Right. Sorry, Jess. We're moving on to Brett from Port Adelaide. Brett, Mulder, Scully, and Skinner are all characters from what 90s TV show?
The X-Files.
Yes. Even if you just hum the tune, that's an acceptable answer.
I would have accepted it.
We like the outside of the box spin on that one. All right, Brett, if you answer this last question, you are finishing off the round and are entitled to $50. It is a sporting question. Which legendary basketballer announced their retirement in 1999?
Michael Jordan.
He's done it!
Brett from Port Adelaide. $50.
Our decade expert of the 90s. $50 coming your way. Brett, what are you going to put it towards?
I'm going straight to Afterlife after work.
Afterlife.
Sorry about that.
Hey, good call.
Yeah, we'll have to catch you there.
Tom, the term sleeping with the fishes is now an even bigger reality because it's what exactly you can do. It's an alternative that's come out as opposed to being cremated or being buried, and now you can be buried.
The mob comes to your house.
Yeah, they sort you out. No, you get buried under the sea.
Under the sea?
Under the sea with Sebastian and all of the gangs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so pretty much the idea is that you go in this glass tank pretty much, and it does fill up with water. So the idea is that eventually your body will dissolve as it would in a coffin up here on the ground level.
So it doesn't keep the body intact.
It doesn't keep it intact. Eventually you will sort of rot away and you'll be bones as if you were to be in a coffin up here. But yeah, it's a pressurized tank.
God, imagine going like treasure hunting in the ocean.
Oh, good God.
And you come across a glass like Perspex box full of just floating bones. It'd be a bit grim, wouldn't it?
It's like, it's just, it's not what you want. And pretty much, it's heated to around 160 degrees. So it like pretty much keeps it there where your body will turn into bones. But the idea is that it's environmentally friendly. You won't emit any greenhouse gases. But I do have a few issues with it, right?
Okay.
Imagine your relatives going to see you. What? Someone just has to put on a scuba fit and go down and visit you with a bunch of flowers if they want to say g'day.
I guess you just go wherever you shoot the coffin out, right?
And what if you get lost? Imagine like a wife turning around and saying, "What do you mean you lost my husband in the Mariana Trench? He just fell down there."
What do you mean he's in the Bermuda Triangle?
He's lost.
So what's this process called?
It's called aquamation. So it's like cremation, but aquamation.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I want to get acclimated.
No, it's probably the last thing on my list.
I don't know what's going on with my Instagram algorithm at the moment, but videos of Shark Tank keep popping up.
Right, you're
left
on the invention frenzy.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting to love it as well. It got to a point last night where I was just searching up Shark Tank videos.
Yeah, Shark Tank's a great watch. I mean, it's really hit and miss whether you're going to get something that either impresses you or a complete dud that you can laugh at. So it really caters to both entertainment values.
Yeah, absolutely. And I started thinking like about my Shark Tank ideas, and I've realized that they're all already been taken.
Yeah.
From when I was even a kid. I remember when I was a kid jumping around the couches and I would pretend that the floor is lava, and I thought I invented that.
Yeah, right.
I
thought,
wow, no one's ever thought of this.
Huge call. But then you went on to claim you invented rock, paper, scissors.
Went down to the office, tried to get a patent.
Yeah. I'm going to make millions of this. Every time you play rock, paper, scissors, I get $1.
Now, another invention I thought I invented, though, was the spork, obviously. Classic invention. And I thought, how could we improve the spork by making one side of it a blade and having knife, fork, and spoon all in one? Turns out they have existed for donkey's years.
Yeah, it's been a thing for a while. It's a funny thing that kids' imaginations do run wild. And I feel like when Shark Tank came out, it just really sparked a lot of kids to turn around and be like, oh, I could invent this, I could invent this.
What did you think you invented? You got anything?
Yeah, so I remember when I was a kid, I turned to my mum and I said, we're going to be rich. I just made the call straight up. We're gonna be rich off this idea. And I thought, what if there was a ball dispenser that you could put a tennis ball in, and then it shoots it down the hallway, and then your dog grabs it, and then puts it back in the dispenser, and then it shoots it back out until it gets tired. And pretty much so if you leave the house, your dog's home alone, it can play.
Yeah. They've been around for a while.
Crazy. Who even invented that?
Somebody who had the same thought as you, probably.
And a lot more money and a bit older, to do it.
I mean, I know this guy. He's a mate of ours. I'm not going to reveal his name on air because it's very embarrassing. But only last year, we were at the pub together, and he ordered a coffee, which I thought was a bit odd, and then a shot of vodka.
Yep.
And he said, watch this, mix the two, got me to try it. And he's like, how good is that? And I'm like, this is just a poor man's espresso martini. And he turned to me and said, a what?
Yeah, like insulted.
He didn't know what an espresso martini was.
Didn't know an espresso martini.
Never heard of one. Thought he invented it by putting like a shot of vodka into a shot of coffee.
And he's one of our mates.
He's one. I'll tell you off air. Let's go to Party Marty over in Cairns. Good morning, Party Marty. Welcome to the Shark Tank.
Hey, good morning, boys. Thanks.
Good morning. Now, Party Marty, what did you invent?
I'm pretty sure that I have invented and mastered the art of spending lots of money on fishing gear and bait and catching nothing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Catching nothing at all. So how much do you reckon you've spent on the fishing gear?
Oh, probably a couple of thousand, really, and I buy all these lures. I buy lures for like $30 and then lose them because you get them snagged on a tree.
Thanks, Party Marty. Thanks for getting in the Shark Tank, of course.
Not a lot of buying value on that one. I think I'll keep my checkbook in my pocket.
A lot of passion, but hey, Brett over in Port Adelaide, welcome to the Shark Tank. What did you think you invented?
Mate, I'm a bit reluctant to let this out because someone might steal it.
All right,
so Brett, you don't think this has been invented yet?
No, not at all. And my son had a project at school and he had to do an invention, and I came up with a flat cap, like you had, like a baseball cap, that you put solar panels inbuilt on the top with a little USB port on the side. So while you're standing at the cricket all day, you can open your bloody phone.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Okay, so baseball cap with solar panels that charges a phone when you plug it in, so you can have your phone at the cricket or, if you like Party Marty, fishing, something like that.
Brett, this sounds pretty expensive. How much do you reckon you could sell one unit for? Are we looking like $50, $60?
I actually made one. We had to make it. I brought these little tiny solar panels from J-Car or whatever, stuck them on the top of the house. I mean, it didn't look great because it was just a demo. Had a little wire up to a little port, but I'm not sure if the panels were strong enough. You need a certain amperage or whatever to charge the phone. But I think the basic idea is perfect. You're standing all day, 7 hours out in the hills and cricket, and your phone's going to be charged.
There you go.
I reckon for a guy who's invented a charging phone device, he needs to charge his phone right now.
Deodorant being sprayed? Fireworks? A leaf blower? Guess the sound that's coming from the boot of the car in Secret Booty with Tom and Callum on Fresh 92.7. Sponsored by Rent Buy It. When the bank says no to a car loan, give Rent Buy It a go.
Quite possibly the easiest way to win $1,000 this week, just by guessing the sound that's coming from Tom and Callum's Secret Booty.
Yes, what sound could it be? I mean, $1,000 is $1,000. All thanks to the legends down at Rent Buy It. When the bank says no to a car loan, give Rent Buy It a go. We've been playing this all week. We want to give this $1,000 away.
Oh, we are so excited to give it away. $1,000 is huge. It can go towards anything you want. So I'd love to get into it, Tom. We got our caller on the line.
Absolutely.
Let's guess what the sound is. Give them $1,000.
We're going to our regular caller and friend, Smurf from Cheltenham. Smurf, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good, guys. How are you?
Good.
Yeah,
Smurf,
very well.
are you quietly confident? Do you reckon this could be the sound? I mean, you're 3 days in. You've heard a few of the other guesses. How are we feeling?
I actually haven't heard any of the other guesses.
Okay. All right. So going in a bit blind.
So is today your first time hearing the sound?
No, I heard it last night during Kale and Mag's show.
Right.
All right. Well, let's hear it one more time. Let's really refresh your memory here. Here is the secret sound coming from the boot of our Rent Buy It car.
Let's find out what's in the secret booty. Can you guess the sound? Cool.
All right, Smurf, over to you. Can you guess the sound? $1,000 on the line. What is your guess?
A 3M hook being removed off of a wall or a painting.
Oh, I love that guess.
That is a fantastic guess.
I really, really like the outside of the box ones, and it seems like it could be it. It's got a similar vibe.
It has got a similar vibe. Smurf, 3M hook being removed off of a wall, being peeled off, I guess you could say, is incorrect.
Sorry,
Smurf, but you are on the right track.
Not a bad guess at all.
All right, thanks, guys.
Cheers, Smurf. Another chance tomorrow. We need to give away this $1,000 Rent Buy It gave us because Tom and Callum's secret booty can't last forever.
Can't last
Our
forever.
booty can only stay secret for so long, Callum.
Let's give it away.